Thanks for joining me. In my last video I done the 2x2 Rubik's Cube, and today we're going to be looking at the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. In the last video we went through getting to know the cube, so knowing the sides, the faces, and also the turns, whether they're clockwise or anti-clockwise, also known as inverted turns. I'll go over that quickly here now again. And then what we'll do is I'll go through the process of how to do the 3x3. So in this case, slightly different to the 2x2, there are 3 layers to the cube. You solve for the white face, then the top layer, you solve the middle layer, you solve the yellow face, and then you solve the final layer. Okay? And then we'll scramble the cube up and we'll go through the process, hopefully with all the algorithms on screen, and you can follow along. Now it's important to note that your cube might look different. You may need to do extra steps, but I'll try to make that clear as we go along when you might need to do an extra step or when your cube might look a little bit different to mine. So before we get into mixing the cube up, we're going to want to get to know the cube a little bit. So the 3x3 cube, we have these corner pieces which have 3 colours, we have the edge pieces which have 2 colours, and then you have center pieces which have 1 colour. Okay, and the nice thing about the 2x2 cube is the orientation is made a little bit easier because that center cube never moves. So even when it's scrambled, whatever is the colour of the center cube, that's the colour of that face. Okay, so you'll always know that the white face is opposite the yellow. These 2 cubes will never move. The red and yellow will always be opposite, and the blue and green will always be opposite. We need to know the different sides. Okay, so we have the front or face, we have the up face or up layer, we have the down face or the down layer, we have the right side, we have the left side, and we have the back side. So they're all the sides that we'll need to know. Okay, we won't ever be turning this middle layer. We will always have the white face on the upside or the yellow face on the upside. None of these other faces will ever be on the upside when we're turning the cube. Also, we'll need to know the difference between a clockwise and an anti-clockwise turn, or an inverted turn. Okay, so when you're turning your hand to the right, that's always a clockwise turn. Clockwise, 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 clockwise. When you're turning your hand to the left, it's always an anti-clockwise or inverted turn. Inverted, 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 inverted. Great. And that's the same when you're turning the left side. It's a little bit more awkward, but your hand is still turning to the right for a clockwise turn, and to the left for an anti-clockwise turn. Same goes with the bottom side. So we're turning our hand to the right at the bottom, clockwise and anti-clockwise. And the back, again to the right, clockwise turn and anti-clockwise turn. Okay, so before we start solving the cube, we need to scramble it. So let's give that a whack now. Perfect. Okay, so our first goal here is to make a white cross. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to locate the white face, which is this face here, and we know that because it has a white central cube. In order to get the white cross, we need to first get the daisy. Okay, and if you've ever seen a daisy, it's yellow in the middle and white on the outside. So we need to focus on the yellow side, which is always opposite the white side. Here we go. Getting the daisy means having a yellow in the center and having these 4 edge pieces around it as white squares. So we need to find the 4 white edge pieces and we need to turn them to the top. We have one here, we have one here, we have one here, and we have one here. Okay, there are algorithms to get those pieces to the top, but I recommend just playing around with the cube and kind of getting them up there yourself. So some will be easier than others. So turn that one there, great, and this one here, brilliant. God. So there's 2 here. Okay, yeah, so you can see simply by turning this side around and that side there. Now they can both simply be turned up here. And we've got the daisy. We don't need to worry about this cube here. Okay, so we have the yellow in the center and then the 4 edge pieces on the outside. Next thing we do is we look at the sides and we want to match up the colour attached to the white square with the same center piece of that colour. So this isn't matched up, that's not matched up. Here we have one matched up, here we have one matched up. So once we do that, we just turn that side around to the white side. Turn. The blue and orange sides aren't matched, so we just turn it here. Get it around, and then orange over here, and there we go. We have the white cross. We don't need to worry about the corner pieces here. They're the next step, although we can see here that this corner piece is in the right spot because this side is on the blue side, this side's on the red side. However, this corner piece is in the wrong spot. So this is the yellow face, but we have the green cube here, and this is the green face, and we have the red one. So we'll need to move that. But we do have the white cross. So you can see orange here, green here, red here, and blue here. Okay, so next we're going to get all of the white corner pieces in the right place. Okay, so first things first is we need to get them down onto this bottom row here. Okay, and then there's an algorithm, or there's multiple algorithms depending on what side of the cube the white section is on. Okay, so let's get this cube is in the wrong corner, so let's get that onto the bottom row, and we can do that simply by doing a right sided inverse turn and then bottom side inverted turn, and then we turn the right side back up. So now we've got that green and orange corner cube on the bottom row. Once we have that on the bottom row, we turn this bottom layer so that the green and orange cube is under the green and orange sides. So there's orange, there's green, and we have this white corner piece on the bottom row under the white cross. Now, as you can see from the algorithms on screen, when the white is on this side of the cube, it's a very simple algorithm. So we keep the orange side facing us, and it is a right inverted turn, a down inverted turn, and a right back. Very simple. Okay, now we look in the bottom row, see if there's another white corner piece, and there is one there, and it is on the red and green cube. So we turn that to be on the corner on the red and green side. Here we go. Okay. When the white is on the front side or the face side, the algorithm is a down invert, a right invert, a down clockwise, and a right clockwise. And there we have it. It's in the right corner. So we have these, we have the 3 red sides, the 3 green sides, and then we just have one more corner piece to do, and it's the orange and blue. So just like with the other three corners, we put it in the bottom right hand corner in between the blue and the orange side. And again, when the white cube is on the face, we do down invert, right invert, down clockwise, right clockwise. Excellent. Now, we didn't get to see it here, but there is a third algorithm for if the white is on the bottom side, and I'll put that up on screen. So it's a right invert, two down inverted turns, a right clockwise, a down clockwise, a right invert, a down invert, and then a right clockwise turn. And that will get it up in the right place, on the right corner. But for now, we've solved for the first layer. Brilliant. Okay, so once we've solved the first layer, we're going to solve the middle layer. And what we need to do is we need to turn the cube with the yellow side facing up. And again, we know it's the yellow side because the center cube is yellow. We need to find an edge piece that has two colors on it and neither of them being yellow. So as you can see here, we have a blue and red edge piece. So what we do is we line that up with the correct central cube. So we put the red with the red, and then we see it's blue on top, and we determine if that needs to go to the right side of the cube or to the left side of the cube. So this is the green side, and we've actually already got that piece there. Brilliant. So it doesn't need to go there, it needs to go to the left side. So there's two algorithms, one for if it needs to move left and one for if it needs to move right. So in this case, it needs to move to the left. And the algorithm for that is an up invert, a left invert, an up clockwise, left clockwise, an up clockwise, a front clockwise, an up invert, and then a front invert. And there you see, it's now on the right side. Brilliant. Okay, so we look for another edge piece that has two colors, neither of them being yellow, and we line it up with the correct central piece. Perfect. Now this cube needs to go to the right. Okay, it's a very similar algorithm, but instead of up and left, it's up and right. Okay, so it's upside clockwise, right side clockwise, an up invert, the right invert, an up invert, face invert, up clockwise, face clockwise. And there you have that cube in the right place. And that whole layer is done. You might need to do that a couple of times. There's also a case where you might have all of these edge pieces having a color and a yellow, and the piece you're looking for is on the side here, okay? Or on this side. But it might be the green here and the red there. So what I'd recommend you do here, if you have a green here and a red here, is to orient it with this red side facing you, and then do the movement to turn the top to the right here. And this will lift this piece onto the top row, and then you'll be able to orient it, you'll be able to straighten it up and do the algorithm again. Okay? But it's worked out nicely for us. So the next step is to solve the yellow face. But before we can solve the yellow face, we need to get the yellow cross. Okay? So what we need to do is we need to look at this top layer and we need to see how it looks. If you either have just one yellow piece, and that being the center cube, or if you have three in a corner or three cutting off a corner, you would orient it so that the 3 yellow pieces are in this top left corner. Okay. Alternatively, if you have 3 in a row, you would make sure the 3 are going across the cube, and you hold it like that. You wouldn't have it going up and down the cube. Now in our case, we only have 1 yellow piece, so it doesn't matter what way we orient it as long as yellow is on the up face. Once you have the yellow side on the up face, we run this algorithm. And I really like to remember it as for earth, with the first 3 being clockwise and the last 3 being anti-clockwise. So clockwise face, clockwise up, clockwise right, inverted up, inverted right, inverted face. Okay, so that's now given us the 3 in a line. And like I said, we don't do it with them going up and down, we do it going left to right. We don't need to worry about these 2 pieces. Okay, so once you have 3 in a line going across, we do this other algorithm. So it's through rough. Again, with the first 3 being clockwise and the last 3 being anti-clockwise. So clockwise face, clockwise right, clockwise up, inverted right, inverted up, inverted face. So for earth and through rough. Okay, so we've got the cross here. Okay, there are a number of steps that we need to take here. If we just had the cross, that's great. You would orient it so that you have a yellow. If we didn't have this piece here and we just had the yellow cross, we would orient the cube with a yellow here, okay, and we'd keep this blue side as our face, and we'd do the next algorithm. However, because we have this extra corner piece, or what I like to call the little fish head, you can see it's a bit like the tail and the head of a fish. We put the fish head in the bottom left corner. But I will put up on screen the 3 potential faces that you could have and how you need to orient the cube. So if you just have the cross, you would do the next algorithm that will give you the fish head. You'd always put the fish head in the bottom left corner and then do the algorithm again. And keep doing the algorithm with the fish head in the bottom left corner until you get a full face. Okay, so we've got the fish head and we do this algorithm. It's a clockwise right, an up face clockwise, a right sided inverse, a clockwise up face, a clockwise right, clockwise, clockwise up, and an inverted right. And there we have it. We've got the yellow face complete. So our goal now is to get all the corners in the right place. Now, lucky for us, it's just happened that if we match up this red side here, we have all of our corners in place. What I'll actually do is I'm going to mix up those corners now. So there you go. In most cases, once you solve for the yellow face, okay, you'll have a bit of a mix up on the top layer, okay? And then what you would want to do is you'd want to orient it like we have it here. We'd want to get 2 corners in the right place. So we've got red and green in the right place, and we have red and blue in the right place. And we put that to the back. And then we run this next algorithm. It's the one I just done to mix it up. But what it will do is it will switch these 2 front corner pieces. So that is a right invert, a front clockwise, a right invert, 2 back clockwise turns, a right clockwise, a front inverted turn, a right inverted turn, 2 back clockwise turns, to right clockwise turns, and then upside inverted turn. So now you'll see all of the corner pieces are in the right place. Perfect. The very last step of solving the cube is getting all of these edge pieces in the right place. You might have a full side complete like we have here. And what we want to do if we have a full side complete is put that to the back. If we don't have a full side complete, we just run the next algorithm 2 times. Okay? But we do. So that's great. So just like when we were doing the middle there are 2 algorithms here depending on whether we're going clockwise or anti-clockwise. What I mean by that is whether we're going to bring these edge pieces to the right, imagine again turning to the right, orange to here, red to here, blue to here, which is our case, or if we're turning them to the left. You might have the red here, the orange here, and the blue here, and they'd be going to the left. Now in our case, we're doing the algorithm for turning these pieces clockwise or to the right. If you're looking to memorize the algorithms, both of them are the exact same, except when you have a U, it's a UI, it's an inverted U when we're going anti-clockwise or when we're turning these edge pieces to the left. But in this case, like I said, we're turning them to the right. So this is the algorithm. It's clockwise front, clockwise front, clockwise up, clockwise left, a right invert, a clockwise front, left invert, a right clockwise, an up clockwise, and then 2 clockwise front face turns. How I like to remember that is full riffly rough. But every time you hear an F, it's actually 2 Fs. And there you have it. We've solved the cube. Thank you and take care of yourself. I just wanted to follow up the video with another video. I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about how the video was made. I do all the recording myself, obviously. I put the work into the video themselves in terms of, okay, this one was learning how to do the Rubik's Cube, learning the algorithms in a way that I can explain them, and trying to do so in a kind of accurate, clear way. Also, the editing piece just takes so much time, especially for a video like that where I'm trying to figure out the graphics and everything. I also make the music that you hear in the background. Okay, also what I wanted to do is I wanted to commit essentially to another video, because once I put this at the end of the video and put the video out there, I kind of have to do it then, don't I? My next video is going to be on self-expression, kind of what it is, why it's important, how we can do it. Hopefully it's a bit easier to record and edit. What I'd like to do is have an overarching kind of arc to my videos in terms of personal development, personal growth, relatable to other people and identifiable to other people, that everybody has some sort of stake in or interest or relation to the things that I'm putting out there. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. A big thanks go to my daughters and my fiance Roseanne, because they have to listen to talk about these things, or what I'd like to do and what I'd want to do. So I think the least I could do is actually follow up on that and follow through on my ideas, and show that you can turn your ideas into something tangible and something meaningful to you and others, hopefully. Okay, so thanks again for watching. If you have, take care of yourself and have a lovely time. I love you all. Bye bye.